What happens when Africa's most populous nation finally says enough? What happens when ordinary citizens, youth groups, activists, scholars, and even former military officers begin to speak with one voice and say no? Not to cooperation, not to diplomacy, but to foreign military control. And what happens when that no is directed at the most powerful military force on earth? Today's story is not just about Nigeria. It's not just about America. And it's definitely not just about soldiers, bases, or security agreements. This is about power, sovereignty, history, and a new African awakening that Washington did not expect. Because right now, something remarkable is happening. Nigerians are saying no to America's military presence, and the message is getting louder. Stay with us on Eazicho Africa, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this pushback matters, why it's growing, and why it could change Africa's relationship with global powers forever. To understand why Washington is paying close attention, you must first understand Nigeria's strategic importance. Nigeria is not just another African country. Nigeria is Africa's largest population, one of Africa's largest economies, a major oil and gas producer, a regional power in West Africa, a key player in ECOWAS, a country with enormous military manpower. From Washington's perspective, Nigeria is a pillar. If the United States wants influence in West Africa, Nigeria is essential. If it wants intelligence on terrorism in the Sahel, Nigeria is critical. If it wants to counter rival global powers, Nigeria is a strategic anchor. This is why the U.S. has spent decades building security partnerships, training programs, intelligence sharing agreements, and military cooperation frameworks with Nigeria. But here's the problem. Cooperation slowly began to look like dependence. Training began to look like control. And partnership began to feel like pressure. And Nigerians noticed. For years, military cooperation happened quietly, behind closed doors. But today, Nigerians are asking louder questions. Why is foreign military presence increasing while insecurity remains? Why does terrorism persist despite years of external assistance? Why do local communities feel unsafe even with international partners involved? Who really benefits from these military arrangements? Across social media, radio shows, universities, town halls, and civil society forums, a message is spreading. We do not want foreign troops deciding our security future. Young Nigerians are especially vocal. Many of them grew up seeing endless counterterrorism operations, foreign military training missions, arms deals, and security agreements. Yet insecurity remains. So the question becomes unavoidable. If foreign military involvement was the solution, why hasn't it solved the problem? This is where resistance turns into rejection. Nigerians are not reacting in a vacuum. Africa remembers. Africa remembers. Colonial soldiers enforcing foreign rule. Foreign bases protecting foreign interests. Security assistance used to suppress African voices. Resource extraction protected by armed force. For many Nigerians, foreign military presence triggers historical trauma. They see patterns. Military involvement followed by political pressure. Security assistance followed by economic influence. Intelligence sharing followed by strategic manipulation. This is not paranoia. It is a historical experience. And today's Nigerians are more informed, more connected, and less willing to ignore history. This debate is not about hating America. Let's be very clear. Many Nigerians admire American innovation, education, culture, and even democratic ideals. But admiration does not mean submission. At the heart of the resistance is one powerful word: sovereignty. Who controls Nigeria's security decisions? Who defines Nigeria's threats? Who decides when, where, and how force is used? More Nigerians are saying, security must be Nigerian-led, Nigerian-defined, and Nigerian-controlled. They are not rejecting cooperation. They are rejecting domination. And that distinction matters. This is where the conversation becomes uncomfortable. Despite years of foreign military involvement, Boko Haram still exists. Banditry has expanded. Kidnapping has become a business. Rural communities remain vulnerable. So Nigerians are asking a difficult question. Why does insecurity persist under heavy international military engagement? Some critics argue external military strategies don't match local realities. Foreign priorities don't always align with community needs. Intelligence sharing can be selective. Long-term instability justifies long-term presence. Whether these claims are true or not, the perception alone fuels resistance. And perception shapes politics. What makes this moment even more important is that Africa is watching. Across the continent, Mali rejected foreign troops. Burkina Faso pushed back against Western military influence. Niger questioned foreign bases. Central African nations explored new security models. Nigeria speaking up changes everything. Because if Nigeria, with its size and influence, says no, others will feel emboldened to ask questions too. That's why Washington is paying attention. This isn't just about Nigeria. It's about a continental shift. From Washington's perspective, this resistance is surprising. Nigeria was long seen as a reliable security partner, a cooperative regional leader, a stabilizing force aligned with Western frameworks. Public rejection challenges that narrative. It suggests a loss of influence, a credibility problem, a changing African mindset, and that's uncomfortable for any global power. One of the biggest drivers of this pushback is Nigeria's youth. Nigeria is young, connected, digitally aware. Social media has broken information monopolies. Young Nigerians now question official narratives, compare global experiences, analyze foreign policies, share alternative viewpoints. They are no longer passive recipients of foreign decisions. They want ownership, and they are not afraid to say no. Let's be precise. Most Nigerians are not demanding isolation. They are demanding transparency in security agreements, Nigerian command over operations, accountability for outcomes, investment in local intelligence and development, respect for national sovereignty. This is not extremism. This is self-determination. Zoom out, and the picture becomes clearer. The world is changing. Unipolar dominance is fading. Multipolar competition is rising. Countries want options, not orders. Africa is no longer content being a chessboard. Nigeria's pushback fits into a global pattern where nations say, "We want partnership, not control." If Nigeria continues down this path, it may redefine its security strategy. It may diversify partnerships. It may strengthen domestic capacity. It may inspire others. But it will also face pressure. Saying no is never free. Yet many Nigerians believe sovereignty is worth the cost. There is a truth many governments avoid saying out loud. War is profitable. Insecurity is profitable. Around the world, military contracts, arms sales, training programs, intelligence systems, logistics agreements, and security consulting are worth billions of dollars every year. So Nigerians are now asking a bold question. If insecurity ends, who loses money? Foreign military involvement often comes with expensive weapons contracts, long-term advisory missions, surveillance and intelligence deals, private security contractors. But here's the contradiction Nigerians can no longer ignore. Despite decades of security spending, the average Nigerian feels less safe, not more. That contradiction fuels suspicion. It creates the belief that insecurity is being managed, not solved. And once people begin to believe that insecurity benefits external interests, resistance becomes inevitable. When foreign military involvement increases, local communities often pay the price. In northern Nigeria, many civilians feel trapped between terrorist violence, military operations, displacement, economic collapse. Villages are abandoned. Farmers stop farming. Children stop schooling. Yet decisions about security strategies are often made far from these communities, sometimes even outside the country. This fuels anger. Many Nigerians now say, if we are the ones suffering, why are others deciding the strategy? This sense of exclusion deepens opposition to foreign military influence. Nigeria has one of the most experienced militaries in Africa. Nigerian forces have participated in peacekeeping missions worldwide, led regional interventions, stabilized neighboring countries, sacrificed thousands of lives. So when Nigerians hear that their security depends on foreign troops, many see it as an insult. They ask, are Nigerian soldiers not capable? Why must foreign forces advise indefinitely? Why is local intelligence undervalued? This isn't arrogance. It's national pride. And pride matters deeply in shaping public opinion. Another major reason Nigerians are saying no is trust. Trust has been damaged by past foreign interventions that failed elsewhere, conflicting global interests, shifting alliances, double standards in foreign policy. Many Nigerians look at other regions and ask, when foreign troops arrive, do they ever truly leave? They've seen countries where temporary missions became permanent footprints. That fear, whether justified or not, drives resistance. From Washington's side, this moment is deeply uncomfortable. The U.S. sees Nigeria as a counterterrorism partner, a regional stabilizer, a buffer against rival influence. But public resistance complicates everything, because partnerships work best when they are popular, not just official. Washington now faces a dilemma: push harder and risk backlash, or step back and risk losing influence. Neither option is easy. Unlike previous generations, Nigerians today see the world as multipolar. They see new global players emerging, alternative security models, countries choosing diverse partnerships. This creates confidence. The mindset is shifting from "we have no choice" to "we have options." That psychological shift alone weakens external leverage. Another battlefield is information. Nigerians are increasingly skeptical of official press releases, foreign-funded narratives, simplistic explanations of complex problems. Independent media, podcasts, YouTube channels, and grassroots voices are filling the gap. Channels like Eazicho Africa exist because people want uncensored analysis, not rehearsed talking points. This information awakening is dangerous for any power that relies on silence or compliance. Let's imagine the scenario. If Nigeria sharply limits or rejects foreign military presence, domestic capacity would need rapid strengthening. Intelligence systems would need reform. Regional cooperation would become more important. Political pressure would increase. It wouldn't be easy, but many Nigerians believe the short-term pain is worth long-term independence. Sometimes, the act of saying "no" matters more than the policy itself. It sends a message to the world, to Africa, to future generations, that Nigeria is no longer automatically compliant. That Nigeria wants equal partnership, not hierarchy. That Nigeria is thinking long-term. Across Africa, there is a quiet confidence growing. Not arrogance, not hostility, but clarity. A realization that sovereignty is non-negotiable. Security must be locally rooted. External help must come with limits. Nigeria's voice amplifies that confidence. This moment could redefine relationships. The future may look like shorter, clearly defined cooperation, African-led security frameworks, reduced foreign footprints, more transparent agreements. If global powers adapt, partnerships can survive. If they don't, resistance will grow. The message Nigerians are sending is simple but firm. Respect our sovereignty. Listen to our people. Support, don't dominate. This is not rejection. This is redefinition. So the real question is not whether Nigerians will continue to resist foreign military dominance. The real question is, will global powers listen or repeat history? Because Africa remembers, and this generation is watching closely. History rarely announces itself. It doesn't come with sirens or breaking news banners. It arrives quietly, through conversations, frustrations, and finally, resistance. Nigeria did not wake up one morning planning to challenge a global military power. But years of insecurity, unanswered questions, and perceived imbalance pushed the nation to a turning point. That turning point is not a policy document. It is a mindset shift. And once a mindset changes, nothing stays the same. Here is the fear Washington and other global powers rarely voice. When one major African nation openly questions foreign military influence, others may follow. Not out of rebellion, but out of reflection. Nigeria's stance raises uncomfortable questions across the continent. Who really controls African security? Why does foreign presence feel permanent? What does true partnership look like? This fear is not about Nigeria alone. It's about precedent. Sovereignty is not free. It demands institutional reform, honest leadership, strong domestic intelligence, public accountability, national unity. Many Nigerians understand this. They know that saying no to external dominance also means saying yes to responsibility. This is the difference between protest and maturity. Nigeria is not asking others to fix its problems anymore. It is asking for space to fix them itself. One of the biggest questions Nigerians are asking now is, where do our elites stand? Because foreign military agreements are not signed by citizens. They are signed by leaders. And history will judge who defended sovereignty, who traded independence for convenience, who listened to the people, who ignored them. Silence is no longer neutral. It is a choice. Yes, but only if Nigeria commits fully. That means investing in local intelligence, supporting communities instead of militarizing them, fixing corruption within security institutions, using regional African cooperation, addressing economic roots of insecurity. Foreign soldiers cannot solve problems rooted in poverty, neglect, and governance. Nigerians are finally saying this out loud. Nigeria's greatest strength is its youth. Young Nigerians are politically aware, globally connected, historically informed, fearless in questioning authority. They do not want inherited dependency. They want to earn independence. And they are shaping the future faster than politicians realize. Interestingly, global reactions have been subtle. No dramatic statements. No loud condemnations. Just quiet observation. Because when public opinion shifts in a country like Nigeria, ignoring it is dangerous. Diplomats know this. Strategists know this. And so they are watching, waiting, calculating. Nigeria's message echoes beyond its borders. We are not anti-partnership. We are anti-domination. We are not rejecting help. We are rejecting control. This distinction defines Africa's future engagement with the world. The story does not end with a speech or a video. It continues in civic engagement, policy pressure, public debate, responsible leadership, national unity. Saying no is only the beginning. Building alternatives is the real work. History offers a warning. Nations that surrender sovereignty for temporary comfort often pay a higher price later. Those that endure short-term difficulty for long-term independence shape their destiny. Nigeria now stands at that crossroads. So let us be honest. This moment is not about America alone. It is not about military bases. It is not about ideology. It is about dignity. When Nigerians say no to foreign military dominance, they are saying yes to self-respect, yes to accountability, yes to African solutions, yes to a future defined at home. This is not rebellion. This is awakening. And awakenings cannot be negotiated away. Here on Eazicho Africa, we tell these stories not to divide, but to inform, challenge, and empower. If you believe Nigeria deserves sovereignty, if you believe Africa must define its own security, if you believe the future belongs to Africans who stand firm, then subscribe to Eazicho Africa, share this video, and let your voice be heard in the comments. Because history is being written, and this time, Africa is holding the pen.